Speaking of police state, as we discussed before, in Florida, they've got a mobile police unit running around town.
Like a tank? Have you seen pictures of it?
I've seen it.
Okay.
It's like a double wide on wheels.
Yeah.
This enormous armored vehicle.
Like that club
thing.
in Dallas where all the musicians play? It looks like that?
And they just park, I guess in a bad neighborhood, they say. Who's to determine what a bad neighborhood is?
There's probably lots of lower income people living in that area.
So lots of
minority, lower income people.
Yep.
Lower income people.
Definitely lots of lower income people where drugs are prevalent.
Yeah.
Out in the open, we should say, because
okay.
We know the higher income people have a better way of hiding.
Right.
Hiding those
usually goes down at the office or
Demi
whatever.
Moore.
You hear she was smoking some of that K2 whenever she.
Is that what it was? I just heard. I heard the police call and they were like, "She smoked something that's like marijuana, but."
So it has to be some K2 or some.
I thought it was salvia.
I don't think salvia would make her flip out as much as she did.
Because I know that the time that you forced me to do salvia,
I didn't force you to do anything.
I almost had to call the paramedics because that was the most bizarre experience ever. But
yeah, I've heard salvia is a pretty bizarre experience. I heard that somebody witnessed some munchkins dancing in front of them, so it definitely makes you hallucinate.
Obviously, our crowd doesn't understand salvia humor.
It's a synthetic hallucination, is what I heard. It's like a synthetic LSD.
That's why it's legal, because it's phony.
Yeah.
So anyway,
just like K2 and Spice, which is being pulled off the market. But yeah, like you were saying, the police state is building up its power right now.
Continuing with this idea of if you're not doing anything wrong, then what do you have to be?
Like the pat downs, right? Like the road stops, the highway stops.
If you're not doing anything wrong, then what's the problem with us parking a vehicle and recording your every move?
Right.
All day long. Mm-hmm.
And being assholes about it, right? Like you said, it says on the tank, we're watching you. What you gonna do when we come for you? Something like that.
Yeah, it says what you gonna do when we come for you on one end, and on the other it says, you are under video surveillance or something.
I also heard in LA, there's been military helicopters, the black helicopters flying in urban areas.
No, low income.
Right.
Colored black helicopters. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, is this any different than when the police park those towers and they park, they go up in a parking lot and look over a parking lot?
At least that's a parking lot. It's not like a private area. It's a store, not somebody's neighborhood, But no, the police state is definitely building up. It's a very sad state of affairs.
Yep. It's not going to be long before we have drones flying over.
No, that's what I was going to say. 30% of the military's air force is built up. Is these artificial drones? Is these drones that fly around everywhere? 30% of the air force is drones.
No, I mean it all sounds like fun and games now when they're watching criminals and this and that. But I promise you, it's not going to be fun when they have the technology down and they have all the resources and they're literally patrolling the streets night and day, flying over the skies and seeing everything you do, and taunting you with, if you're not doing anything wrong, then you have nothing to hide, blah blah. But I mean, trust us, we all have something, that we're not exactly wanting to flaunt out there.
Of course. But
name some of those things for you, Eddie.
My public sex. I like having sex in public.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. That would be certainly an embarrassment for you.
Yeah.
I've seen the size of that thing. It's certainly nothing that you want broadcast.
It's definitely not.
To your local PD.
So the police. Wasn't it also is the military coming back from places like Iraq and Afghanistan? I can guarantee they're going to be given police jobs, and they're going to build up the police state through this mass immigration of Marines and Army troops and all this type of stuff. So be ready for it. It's going to happen.